Thank you, Christy, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It's an absolute pleasure to be here. It's, as you said, Kelly Metals is a new IPO, and boy, what a ride we've had in the last few weeks. A real roller coaster of events, plenty of highs and lows along the way, just to get to this very point. Before I tell you a little bit more about it and get into the detail around the presentation, let me tell you a little bit about the formation of Kelly Metals. It was established from the spin out of the lithium assets of ASX listed company Kalamazoo and also TSX listed company Karora Resources, you might know as a Canadian gold mine. The journey started some early this year, and we'll look to now list, depending on the ASX timetables, but we'll look to list on the 5th of January early next year. The IPO offer opened and closed, I'm extremely pleased to say, in a couple of hours, heavily oversubscribed, allowed us to raise the maximum subscription of $15 million at 25 cents. 6 months ago, if you had to ask me, was this the right timing to launch an IPO, I probably would have agreed with you and said no. But I suppose this just goes back to show that you have the assets, then I think you'll get the interest no matter what time of the year it is for the listing. So just on before I go into more detail on the presentation, the obligatory disclaimer. Urge you to read. I'm sure there's some forward-looking statements in here somewhere. It's up to you to find them. What makes Kelly Metals stand out from all the others? Why the investment? Why is people such a compelling investment opportunity for them? Well, we start with a massive land package. We have close to 4,000 square kilometres of tenements based in 3 areas: to the north, in the Pilbara, to the south, in Higginsville around Eastern Goldfields, and then over in the new emerging province over in Eastern Australia. So we have these massive land package. We have a very strong and strategic partnership with SQM. SQM have the right to earn into 70% of 2 of our 3 projects up in the Pilbara. They can spend some $12 million over 4 years to earn that 70%. Currently, they've spent around 2.25 or thereabouts, and they've earned the right to 30% of those 2 projects. And I'll talk a little bit more about those as we go further on. Throughout that area, nearly 4,000 square kilometres, we have multiple targets. And again, I know we hear this all the time, but I'm telling you, we just see this so often with such a large area. We're blessed with a number of targets, exploration targets, highly advanced targets. And those areas that we have got, especially in Western Australia, surrounded or adjacent to world-class lithium mines and lithium prospects. And importantly, we have the team, starting with a highly accomplished board, very experienced, covers all aspects of the mining phases, if you like, from exploration right through to construction, development, operations, and of course corporate M&A. More recently, I'm very pleased to announce that we've added a highly experienced lithium executive to our team in Stuart Peterson. Stuart comes from us from Global Lithium, where he is a general manager of geology over there, and rightly, I think, credited with a lot of the responsibility for discovering and developing the Mana prospect up there. So Stuart will bring an enormous amount of lithium experience into the team. And then the funding. As I said, the funding was oversubscribed a number of times, multiple times. We were extremely fortunate to close within a couple of hours. We'll look, as I said, to list onto the ASX in the 5th of January. At the end of that, we'll have that 15 million of cash. We'll have something in the order of 144 million shares out, a market cap of around 36 million, and a enterprise value of 21 million. So the good thing is that our two major shareholders, which put these lithium assets together in Kalamazoo and Karora, will still have big percentage, big ownerships. Between them, they'll own somewhere in around 40% of the new Kali Metals, which gives us a good protection mechanism for any sort of other activity outside of our control. Our projects themselves, well, let me start with Higginsville, if you like. Again, a vast area. You can see up there the slide. The tenements extend north-south by about 100 kilometres, east-west up to 50 kilometres wide, and dead smack in the middle of a number of operating lithium mines and well-advanced lithium exploration prospects. If you go to the north up there, at the top of that page, you'll see Mount Marion. Across to the east is Bald Hill. Both of those are operating mines, as most of you would know. And north of Bald Hill, you'll see Manna up there. That's the new Manna. As I said, that's where Stuart came from. Down south, you have Buldania with Liontown. Norseman area down there, you might know in the press recently, MinRes just completed a deal with Pantoro to acquire 100% of their lithium assets. And then Pioneer Dome as again with Essential Metals out there and develop. And Westmuck in the middle of that with such a big land tenure package. We definitely know there's sort of LCT pegmatites on there. Our early work to date has shown not just the LCTs but spodumene and rock chip samples. We inherited a massive database from Karora when we picked up these tenements, or these lithium rights I should say. Some 12,000 occurrence of a pegmatite in the database. 750 of those are greater than 10 metres, and the deepest being, or sorry, the longest being around 169 metres. All of that, along with our field work, the mapping, the field work, the rock chips, the database, will form the basis of our planned drill program, which we are hoping, and with all the caveats around with approvals and so on, that we would be drilling sometime in Q1 of next year. And again, with the same and probably more caveats put around that, if everything works out, we'd aim to put some sort of resource out mid-next year, if that was at all possible. So a big area, a great location, surrounded by the right infrastructure up and down that whole area, as we've said and seen that, and operating mines in the area. Our second major project, as I said, is up in the Pilbara. The Pilbara consists of the Doms Hill you see up the top of that photo, or the top of that plan there. And to the right of that is Pear Creek, and then to the right of that again, down the bottom right-hand corner, is Marble Bar. Both Doms Hill and Marble Bar are the subject to the SQM JV, and as I said, without going through too much, is that they have the right to earn 70% into those by expending $12 million over 4 years. Pear Creek, we will look to explore and fund ourselves. So all the money that comes from the IPO, the majority will go into Higginsville, and our other tenements over east will get some, as well as a small amount for Pear Creek over the next 2 years. Doms Hill we like because of the geological, what we see as a geological analogue to Pilbara Minerals Pilgangoora, and as you can see there, some over 300 million tonnes at 1.1%, and that's about 50 kilometres southwest of Doms Hill. Further 20 k's down to there is the Wodgina mine with 260 odd million tonnes at 1.2%, and just to the west of Doms Hill you'll see that Tabba Tabba, the new Tabba Tabba Wildcat. You couldn't ask for a better result for that company. I'd love to see people get out there and really kick some goals. They certainly have. Their market cap has gone from millions to $1 billion, so well done to them. Hopefully some of that will rub off to us onto Doms Hill there. We just completed a second phase of drilling at Doms Hill, right down the bottom of that area, of that top area you see there. about 6,000 metres, a geochem drill program, so we expect in the PPB results more so a targeting exercise than to see anything else to come out of it. So we'll follow up with some deeper RC based around that drilling. Marble Bar, lots of field work, rock chip samples. We've identified a number of LCT outcropping pegmatites. One in particular goes for just over a kilometre long, 1.1 kilometre. And the 4 lots of rock chips along that way have delivered grades of 2 to 2.8%. So early days there, lots of work, but hell of a lot of potential to come out there. And when you look around the Australia or West Australia and you see the sort of the size of the deposits at in and around this, the Pilbara region really is the sort of the Valley of the Giants, if you like. It produces the number of deposits. And I'm not saying that down south they're not going to be the same over time, but certainly these are looking a much bigger size, and another reason why ourselves and SQM are up in this area. Our third area, if you like, is over in the Lachlan Fold Belt. Now this is a new province. This is something new come out, quite frankly, on the back of the very good work that Kalamazoo did. They picked up a lot of tenements over there. And it's new. And we've been fortunate. The field work we've seen there have discovered, and rock chip samples have seen LCT pegmatite, spodumene, seen everything we really wanted to do to see over there, and it's certainly given us enough confidence to go forward and put some money into that and see what we can get out of that. If that comes off, then I'm saying that this is we're in a prime position. We've picked up most of the ground that sits around the lowland areas, and it's a big tenement position. It's some 2,000 square kilometres of tenements up and down both those. I will tell you that all the non-geologists, and I'm sure Stuart's going to sort of pat me on the back for this, but when you look at the Jingellic project up there, there's an area called the Great Pegmatite. No, sorry, the Giant Pegmatite. I've got to say, that's got to be a start for where we'd go and have a look for some lithium. So that's on the cards. There's plenty happening down over there. And as I said, it's really exciting times, and I can't wait to get some people on the ground. So how can I finish? Well, in conclusion, this is a company that's got, as I said, a massive amount of tenements. We believe makes it one of the largest hard rock lithium tenement packages in Australia, if not globally. And we have those 100% to those. We have the team, we have the board, we have the funds, we have these multiple very real targets to go out and drill, which we can't wait to do. As soon as that listing is and the money hits the hands, we'll be out there spending it in the ground, and we'll put close to 75% of those funds into the ground, and that's what we should be doing for all shareholders. So that's it, but before I finish, let me say, can I thank a few people? And again, certainly the boards, and I won't drag on too long, I promise you, but certainly the boards of Kalamazoo and Karora, I think it's for them to show the foresight to do this sort of delisting of their lithium assets into Kali is really well done. The Kali team itself, only small, geez, they work hard. They've done a tremendous job, and I really thank them. The JLMs who put the raising together, again, great job. Bell Potter, Canaccord, couldn't ask for a better two groups. Grant Samuel, our advisors, Gilbert and Toma Legal, and NWR. And a little special thanks for Karora's legal team over there, headed up by Laura Noonan-Crowe. So thank you all. We wouldn't be here making this presentation if it wasn't for that great work. Thank you very much.